Hello, and welcome to the January Learning Module covering Purposeful Paraphrasing. We'd like to wish you a happy new year. We hope everyone had a joyful and restful winter break. Today's outcomes include exploring the importance of paraphrasing in learning-focused mentoring, examining the 3 different types of paraphrasing, and practicing and integrating paraphrasing into conversation. Please remember to submit the Google Doc reflection as your evidence for attending this session. This counts as your seat hours towards the course. We also will include a reminder for where to submit your implementation evidence via the Google form at the conclusion of this module. To activate your thinking, reflect on the following statements. During conversations, my paraphrasing tendencies are, and when someone paraphrases me in conversation, my tendencies are. As always, you have the option to pause the content and record your thoughts now or wait until the end of the presentation. So why is paraphrasing so important? Well, first and foremost, the purposeful use of paraphrasing signals your full attention to conversations. It communicates an understanding of the other individual's thoughts, concerns, questions, and ideas, or that you're really trying hard to make an attempt. We're all human, right? This not only establishes trust, but also opens up conversation for more thoughtful, reflective responses. Without being purposeful with paraphrasing, responses can be perceived as interrogation, or it can seem very contrived. For example, what I'm hearing you say is, or what I think I'm hearing you say, it just all sounds very formulated. In the following slides, you will be provided with different scaffolds you can adapt and utilize in your mentoring conversations, depending on the context. When used to their full potential, these scaffolds can help you show that you are valuing the conversation. This leads to building more trust. However, you will want to remember from our previous learning to keep eye listening in check. There are 3 different types of paraphrase, each with different intentions. While each supports relationship and thinking, there is no right sequence for application. Cues from the speaker will help you determine an appropriate response. Now let's examine the 3 different types of paraphrase in learning-focused mentoring. The first type of paraphrase is acknowledging and clarifying. This support provides the opportunity to identify and calibrate content and emotions. Some possible scaffolds for crafting an acknowledging and clarifying response include, so you are feeling, you're noticing that, or in other words. Note that I is left out of the conversation. This allows you as a mentor to steer out of the consultant role and navigate into coaching. Let's take a closer look at what this might look like in conversation. So you can see the beginning teacher example here. That's at the top. I don't know how I'll get these kids under control. I've got too much on my plate. I have a feeling you've probably heard this before. If you were to utilize one of the scaffolds, you might respond by saying, so in other words, you're feeling very overwhelmed by behavior and all that you have to do this time of quarter. If you are experiencing a situation where there are several issues at stake, or the person with whom you are conversing is feeling very scattered, summarizing and organizing may be the support to meet your needs. These scaffolds capture key elements and help shape thinking. Some scaffolds include, so there seem to be 2 key issues here and here. Or on one hand there is blank, and on the other hand there is blank. Or there seem to be several things emerging. It sounds like there's a bit of a sequence here. Each example just helps kind of put the information into buckets and just grounds the individual. Here's an example for an opportunity to apply this type of scaffold. I'm so confused. During our literacy block, my students work well in groups, participate in class, and they get their work done. In math, it's completely opposite. They're constantly off task, and I need to keep going to individual students to keep control of the class. A response that you could formulate might be, so you're noticing significant differences between your students' performance in reading and their performance in math. The third type of paraphrase is coined as shifting level of abstraction. Here the mentor is in a balancing act along the continuum. The intention of this paraphrase is to illuminate big ideas or categories that a beginning educator may not initially recognize. When shifting up, this can lead to new discoveries. When shifting down, this paraphrase can help focus and increase more precise thinking. For individuals who think in highly sequential and concrete patterns, shifting up helps them explore a bigger picture. For individuals who think in highly global patterns, the shift down helps ground thinking to more specific details. Let's take a look at what this looks like. So here's a possible scenario. My kids have trouble getting started and they're always asking for help. So if you were to shift up, you may say, so one of your goals is to create more independence in your students. Whereas if you were shifting down, you might say, you're feeling that your students are not following directions. In the reflection, you will be provided with the opportunity to craft a paraphrase for each type. Additionally, you will be asked to try one of the scaffolds with your beginning teacher and to reflect on that conversation. We look forward to your responses. In conclusion, we would like to remind you that the reflections provide us with evidence for your seed hours that you have attended the learning modules. If you're needing support in submitting your reflections, please let us know. And since we're in the middle of the course, we would also like to remind you of the course requirements. Of course, the 12 collaboration hours and anything really counts under that for time. The 9 learning focused conversations, the 2 observation reflections, and the district half day. We would hope that you would utilize that half day as an opportunity to maybe have a learning focused conversation or conduct an observation, however you choose to use that time. The Google form links for submitting your evidence are there based on region. There's the Clear Lake form and the Cedar Falls form. If you're needing the link to your landing page, that's the individual page where you can see your submissions and print anything that you may need for your beginning teacher or your administrator as evidence. Please let us know and we will email that back to you. We understand things kind of get lost if you didn't get a chance to bookmark that page. So thank you for your time and we look forward to the next posting in March. Have a wonderful January and February.